breads and cereals, fruits and vegetables, meats, milk. Boy, those rats must be in beautiful shape today. The beginning of the fourth and last week of your controlled investigation. A research project as to what foods and nutrients influence growth and how. Now, what happened when meat was added? During the last 7 days, the rats must have grown a lot. Or did they? Did their size and appearance change? When you compared the meat cards and pinned down the nutrients supplied by meats, did you discover how iron levels in meat differ from, say, bread or vegetables? You found that meat has a lot of protein. In fact, protein is found in the largest amounts in meat. But remember, other foods such as eggs, dried beans, and nuts have protein too. Ask your teacher the tough protein question. What's the difference between complete and incomplete protein? Oh, remember vitamin C, the cement? Well, protein is the brick, the building material of body cells. Yep, there are 2 times you need protein, when you're growing up and when you are grown up. Okay, I guess that's all the time. Adults need protein mostly to make repairs with, when cells are injured or worn out. You need protein for that too, but at your age you need it mostly for growth, for actually increasing your size. Now, what about iron? Do meat and meat substitutes have more iron than other foods, or less? Actually, these foods are the best sources of iron. But which ones come up on top of the iron list? And which ones are the lowest? Last week I asked you to find out about iron. What did you find out about its job, its function in the body? Did you find out that it takes vitamin C to help take delivery of the iron? Well, let's compare what you learned with some facts about iron. Iron combines with protein to form hemoglobin, a substance in the blood which carries oxygen to the cells. And all cells need oxygen to exist. How do you get the iron you need? By eating a variety of iron-rich foods, like these: meat, eggs, dried peas, and all the rest you see here, and also by combining vitamin C-rich foods with an iron source, like having fruit or a salad with your meat or eggs. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and imagine yourselves being rats. How about that? Then, a question that might help you relate the experience of your albino rats to your own feelings and your own body. By now, growth should no longer be just a concept, something you merely read about, but something you've seen, something you have been scientifically observing, measuring, and recording. Growth means change, and you should be noticing some definite changes in your rats. Earlier, when you measured to see how long those little tails have become and how much your rats weigh, did you ask yourselves how your observations of 7 days ago compared to what you saw today? The control rat still weighs more and has a larger tail than the treatment rat. But the treatment rat should have begun to catch up a little. She should have grown more the last 7 days than in the previous 2 weeks. Now, why, do you think? Of course, the control rat is the largest, strongest. As she crawls around, has she tipped over any unwired food containers or moved them? Have you been able to feel the increased strength of her muscles as she crawls on your arm? Maybe you can even see how much bigger her muscles are. Your albino rats are old enough to have lost their white puppy fur and begun to get their creamy white coat of fur. Adult fur is longer. It's sleek, shiny, heavier, and more coarse. So if your control rat has all or some of her adult fur, she's developing normally. But how about the treatment rat? Is her fur still fluffy, short, and snowy white? What can you say about her development? Or about her menu? Well, you already know, don't you? The main difference in their diets, in their nutrient patterns, is that one rat had milk to drink, and the other rat did not. With everything else the same, controlled by you as you use the scientific method, you can now conclude something about the rat's milk. That it has, what? Certain nutrients, and that the treatment rat therefore did not get the level of nutrients in her sweetened water which the control rat got in her supply of milk. Because the treatment rat grew more this week with meat, you know that protein is essential for a good, healthy pattern of growth. Your treatment rat got protein for the first time last week, while the control rat has been getting protein from the first day, 3 weeks ago, first in her supply of milk, and then also with meat. So, the treatment rat never got as much protein, or as much of the other nutrients found in milk, which are also necessary for growth. Nor did the treatment rat get these nutrients as early in her development as the control rat. A difference in amount, a difference in time. Well, there's another nutrient in milk that is present in large amounts, and that almost more than anything else influences the length of a rat. What is it? Maybe you already noticed it on the milk charts. If not, here's another clue to this absolutely necessary bodybuilder. It is the important nutrient for proper development of bones and teeth, and for the strength and hardness of them. It's a mineral. It's calcium. Now, when you X-ray bones, something very interesting shows up. The calcium and other minerals show up white. The more calcium, the more white you see. If you could have X-rayed your rats at the end of the first week, they would have looked like this. The differences you normally see on the outside, in size, you also see here, in the length and in the thickness of the bones. Notice how much whiter the control rat's bones are, how much bigger. That's calcium. There's much more calcium in the control rat's bones. So, it's easy to see on the X-ray which rat is on the diet with milk, number 1 or number 2. Suppose the control rat, rat number 2 here, got milk for 2 more weeks. Would you see an even bigger difference? Right you are. 2 weeks later, after 3 weeks in all, the control rat's growth showed well-developed bones, much better than the treatment rat. Again, notice how much longer and thicker the control rat's bones are. No wonder she weighs more. No wonder she's stronger. No wonder she has a better appearance. Calcium does something else too. It works in the nervous system. Calcium plays an essential role in muscle contraction, all muscles, from the ones in your arms and legs that you can control to the ones you don't consciously control, like the beating of your heart. So, you never outgrow your need for calcium. You need it the most to grow on now, but you'll always need some to keep your bones healthy. Bone formation, that is length and thickness, are taking place at a very high rate in your bodies right now as you head toward being teenagers. And this process will continue to be important up through your middle 30s, so that you'll be, well, all set with strong bones for the rest of your life. Now, this is the week of the big switch. That is, you're going to make an extremely important change in the setup of your controlled experiment, still under complete control, still according to the scientific method. There will be no new foods added to the menu. Just switch the milk and the other beverage for the rats, with the control rat now getting the sweetened water and the treatment rat now getting the milk. You're going to see what happens when you have a controlled change in one of the variables. What do you think's going to happen by the end of next week? By cutting down on the nutrients for the control rat, will she continue to grow and develop normally? Will the treatment rat, who will finally get her full nutritional intake, catch up at this late date in her development? At the end of this week, you'll have a chance to observe whether she can overcome the deficiencies of the last 3 weeks. Maybe she'll develop only a little, but that is one of the things you will observe, analyze, and record, whether the addition of milk will change the rate of growth and development of the treatment rat. Whichever way it goes, you'll have a few more ideas about nutrition, ideas to let you decide for yourself what you want for your own growth and development. And now for that question. Close your eyes, everybody now, and keep them closed until I tell you to open them. Imagine yourself as a baby rat. Fluffy white fur, twitch your little nose, flip your tail. In your mind, look at 2 cages in front of you, each with a set of baby food jars. Imagine the foods there, just like the ones you put out the first day, and mentally see the different beverages. Now, ask yourself, if I could have my rat's choice of cages, which door would I crawl through? What would you, a smarter-than-average rat, decide? Okay, Open your eyes. Make a trial decision now. You can keep it a secret because it's your trial decision and yours alone. But which door? Hey, imagination rats, here's to your health. Everyone.